Preparations for the funeral of former Deputy President David Mabuza is currently underway. Of course, you would remember that the former Deputy President passed away last week, Thursday, at the age of 64. For more on this, let's now cross on over to SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko, and he joins us now live from Barberton in Mpumalanga. Samkele, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. Let's start off here. I mean, so much took place today just before the funeral of the late former Deputy President David Mabuza. Just take us through what we saw throughout the day as his mortal remains, arrived at his home. All right, we'll continue then to give you the latest updates when it comes to that story. And you know that the former Deputy President David Mabuza is set to be buried tomorrow in his hometown of Barberton in Mpumalanga. Also, we know that President Cyril Ramaphosa will officiate and give us the keynote address at that funeral. And he has been awarded a Category 2 funeral, state funeral, that will be taking place tomorrow in Mpumalanga. The South African judiciary has responded to allegations, of course. So let's now take you back to Samkele Maseko. Earlier on, we did say that we will be crossing to him. It seems as if we have re-established that line for you. Samkele, thank you so much once again for your time. We'd slightly lost your connection there. Maybe let's start off here. Just take us through what we witnessed today as the mortal remains of the former Deputy President arrived at his home in Barberton.
Well, Mbali Titani, the network is very bad at this point in time. Earlier on, they did try and boost it when the mortal remains of the former Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa and of the African National Congress, David Mabuza, arrived here at his family home at the Barberton farm. We did see that guard of honor by the South African National Defence Force as his mortal remains came into this particular home here in Barberton. We also did see the drills by the South African National Defence Force earlier on for the procession that will take place tomorrow morning once his mortal remains have been officially handed over by the African National Congress to the government of South Africa, as he has been given a Category 2 state funeral by the Commander-in-Chief, President Cyril Ramaphosa. We also do know that there was a service that was meant to be held this evening here at the family home that has since now been cancelled, noting that the family wants to come to terms with the passing of the former Deputy President David Mabuza, who is their father, their uncle, their grandfather as well, and a number of other community members in and around this area whom have also been allowed in this particular part of the evening, where his remains are in his home for the very last time, that will ultimately be taken tomorrow within the government of South Africa to go to where the funeral service will take place, and ultimately will be brought back, and there will be a burial Category 2 of the state that will be limited to about 1,500 people, who will then come back for where the Deputy President will then be interred in his final resting place.
All right, that's SABC News reporter there, Samkele Maseko, just giving us a wrap of the proceedings that took place today, and that's just ahead of the funeral of the former Deputy President of South Africa, David Mabuza.